Welcome everyone to the regular meeting of the Pickleweed Advisory Committee, meeting on October 1st. The time is 7:06 p.m. And Becky, will you please call roll?
All right. Member Arbit?
You said here.
Okay, thank you. The sound is a little hard to hear over here. Member Campos?
Here.
Member Nguyen?
Yeah.
Member Ruiz?
Yeah.
Member Sprague?
Sure.
Okay. Member Tanchez, I believe, is absent. Is that still correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Member Vasquez?
Here.
And Commissioner Pasternak?
Here.
All right, thank you.
Okay, I would take a quick second, apologize for the lack of name tag.
Christy, can you unmute, please?
Sure.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, sorry, I was saying, are there any amendments to this evening's agenda? Okay, do I call the agenda items for that or call them out? Do I announce the agenda items for when I ask that? Sorry, everyone.
Hey,
Okay.
real quick, I'm just going to pause too. I just want to welcome Christy Hubacher as the new recreation supervisor for the Borough Community Center. This is Christy's first meeting in this role. I'm really excited to have her here. I was also going to say my name is Craig Baramay. I'm one of the city's assistant library and recreation directors. And so since this is Christy's first meeting, we might have a couple moments like that, and that's okay. But it's most important thing is that we're all here to learn and share opinions and perspectives. So just wanted to acknowledge that. Welcome, Christy.
Thank you. Yeah,
Welcome.
thank you.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to be here. Thank you all for having me. Yeah, sorry, I might pause a couple times just to make sure I'm getting everything, especially to make sure that everything is covered and everyone's represented who needs to be. Great. So with that, I'll move into the minutes. Are there any questions from committee members to staff?
I don't think we printed copies. They were included in the agenda packet, but I'm happy to print some if you'd like a copy of the minutes.
Thank you.
Yeah, I can make that happen.
Great.
I can go through a couple printed.
I made a note for
Should we do
next
that
time to
before
print
you're able
copies.
To make a decision on whether to approve the minutes, because that's going to take a minute for me to print those.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll be right back.
Becky, we're taking a quick minute to print some agendas. Yeah, anyone else would like a copy while Craig is doing that? Okay. Becky, is it okay, appropriate for me to give a little background while we wait for Craig to come back, a little background on where I'm coming from?
Yeah, that would be great.
So I'll take a little bit of a longer introduction since Craig is printing those. Again, my name is Christy Hubacher. I'm coming from the city of Mill Valley. I was the recreation supervisor of facilities there. Very familiar with recreation, parks and fields, mostly managed parks, fields, and buildings. Prior to that, I managed the fairgrounds in Petaluma. So again, a lot of facility management and a lot of fields and rentals and tenants and programs. And I'm excited to be here and really welcome ideas and thoughts and input in my first few years here on what the community needs and like to see. So feel free, I have an open door. Come in anytime. You can find me at the first door when you walk into the lobby, and I welcome the community to come and share with me their feedback and wants and hopes and desires for the area. Great.
So I was just going to mention, unfortunately, I'm unable to print from here. I mean, you can if you want to. I was going to say we can skip this agenda item at the moment as well, move to the next, come back to approval of the meeting minutes. So.
Okay, I'll just close it down.
It was, I think, emailed to you. I'm happy to send it again if it'd be helpful.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I did look at it, but not as familiar.
No problem.
Right. Give the explanation.
Gabby.
Nombres sanitarios iban a apoyar el centro educativo de la ciudad de San Rafael. Y ahora me toca conducir. Ahorita lo que estamos esperando es una agenda que venga con los minutos de los temas de hoy. Estamos esperando imprimirlos, ese es lo que estamos esperando en este momento. Y había un sistema de traducción que parece que no está disponible. Entonces me va a tocar a mí, pido su paciencia, pero haré lo posible para traducir todo de una manera eficaz, ¿verdad? Lo que sí les quería decir, noté que la señora Christie estaba platicando un poquito de su rol aquí. I'm going to explain a little bit about what Christie said beforehand, how she was talking about who she was. So la señora Christie, ella es no sé si se acuerdan del señor Steve, todo el mundo conoce a Steve, ¿verdad? So Steve se retiró y la señora Christie es la que está ahora en su lugar, está a cargo del centro, está aquí para apoyar y dice que ella quiere conocer todos sus deseos y todo lo que ustedes quieren ver realidad aquí en el centro del World, lo comuniquen con ella y va a hacer lo posible para traer sus visiones a la realidad. Entonces lo que estaba más o menos explicando, y ahorita nomás estamos esperando que impriman el documento para que todos tengan las notas. La mesa aquí, no sé si se trata de, pero el comité que tengan sus notas para poder proceder con la reunión. ¿Alguna pregunta que tengan ahorita por mientras?
Otra cosa que dijo ella fue que
Gracias.
todos eran bienvenidos cuando quisieran
Claro.
buscarla, estaba para servirles en la entrada.
Gracias.
Sí.
Sí. Sí, está disponible aquí, de lunes a viernes. O está bien, no sé el horario. Aquí va a estar. Y no,
We need more chairs.
More chairs?
Two chairs.
Christy?
Yeah.
If you can stay here, I think then we can kind of start getting the meeting going.
Great.
I wonder if Gabby, if you're free to
Yeah.
help out.
Bigger room.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Becky, you still there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, we're gonna resume. Requesting a motion to approve the minutes is where we were at from the August 6th, 2025 meeting. Do I have a second? Give you a moment to look it over.
Then I'm having trouble hearing, so if you could just tell me your name when you make the motion in the second, or Christy, if you can let me know who made the motion in the second, so I can take a note here.
David Luis.
Yeah, sorry, Darlin made the motion.
Okay.
And Rosa made the second.
Okay, great. All right, Member Arbit.
Yeah.
Member Campos,
Yes.
Member Nguyen,
Yes.
Member Ruiz,
Yes.
Member Sprague,
Yeah.
and Member Vasquez.
Yes.
All right, motion approved. Thank you.
You. Okay, the public is welcome to address the committee at this time on matters not on the agenda that are within its jurisdiction. Comments may be no longer than 2 minutes and should be respectful to the community. Do we have any public comment at this time?
Yeah.
Sure, yes.
Si alguna persona tiene algún comentario que quieran aportar al comité, que te lo pueden hacer, solo piden que los comentarios sean de 2 minutos, respetuosos. Cualquier tema que quieran traer en la agenda, ahorita sí lo.
Okay, seeing no public comment, we will close public comment at this time. Moving forward, so are we switching the agenda? Oh, great, fantastic. So our first presentation is the Pickleweed Library Children's Room mural. And we believe we have a presentation here.
Okay, perfect. I'll just introduce myself. That's easy to sit there. Oh, no, it's fine. I've been sitting all day. I'm good. I need a.
I'll still be either way. You can have it.
Translation would be perfect because my Spanish. Yeah. Yes.
Va a dar una presentación sobre el mural. Creo que va a ser parte de la biblioteca del Departamento de los Niños, ¿verdad?
Yes. Hi, everybody. My name is Barbara UP. I am the program manager at Youth and Arts. I'm sure many of you may have heard Youth and Arts. If not, we are a local nonprofit organization that is dedicated to providing arts education programs to our local community. Barbara.
Bárbara,
Yeah.
su nombre es Bárbara, y es una manejadora con el programa de Youth and Arts, que se encargan de organizar programas de arte con los jóvenes.
Yeah, that's good. So we provide currently art programs to all of the elementary schools in San Rafael. So including like Bahia Vista, Laurel, Glenwood, all of them, and a few in Richmond.
Son proveedores de programas de arte para los niños en las escuelas de la ciudad de San Rafael. Puedo comentar que es una organización sin fin de lucro. So, ellos aportan arte para los alumnos y los jóvenes de la ciudad de San Rafael en las escuelas.
Yeah, and the program that made this mural project possible is our intensive arts mentorship, which offers opportunities for young artists to work closely with professional artists.
So, este mural en específico es un programa donde los jóvenes tienen el apoyo de un
Mentor.
un mentor.
Ya, un mentor.
Un mentor, perdón, un mentor que tiene conocimiento en arte y los jóvenes pueden trabajar junto con el mentor para llevar a cabo las obras de arte.
And what makes Youth and Arts different from other art organizations is that our focus is on the social emotional learning that underpins all of our art residencies. So our 3 pillars are creativity, confidence, and compassion.
Los proyectos tienen un enfoque de apoyar a los alumnos o los jóvenes en las áreas del desarrollo social y emocional y tienen pues, 3 pillars.
Yes.
3 pilares de enfoque que son
Creativity,
creatividad,
confidence,
la autoestima, la confianza
and compassion.
y la pasión.
Yes. So our residencies emphasize the creative process and actual like learning through the arts and student expression and taking risks.
O sea, contribuyen a que esas metas se cumplan a base de el trabajo en el arte, que los alumnos puedan expresarse de una manera artística, apoyando los three main points.
Yes.
Yeah.
So through this mentorship, students build upon their own art skills, but also develop like essential skills such as collaboration, communication, and timeliness, all skills that are important for working in the real world.
Aparte de ganar más habilidades artísticas, también tienen la habilidad de estar en un ambiente donde tienen que cooperar, tienen que para cooperar en equipo, y hay muchas otras maneras o otras oportunidades de aprendizaje con proyectos de este tipo, no nomás el arte, sino cómo cooperar, trabajar en grupos y otras cosas que les ayuden en su desarrollo.
This is also a paid opportunity, so we actually pay this all our student participants with this program.
Entonces, es una oportunidad donde los alumnos no nomás están de voluntarios, que les paga por el tiempo que dedican a estos trabajo que les hacen. Trabajo para.
So these are just a few examples of the murals we have done in Marin so far. A lot of them are in schools.
Murales que ahorita están en la comunidad, por ejemplo, escolares, creo.
So we've done 4 murals at 3 different elementary schools.
Son 4 murales en 3 escuelas primarias.
So 2 of them are at Venetia Valley, 1 at Laurel Dell, and the one in Bahia Vista, which I'm sure you've all seen.
Son 2 en Venetia Valley, una en Laureldale y otra en Bahía.
And we've also have one in Arbor Park, right near the Safeway in Terra Linda.
Tienen otro lugar de
Arbor Park.
Harbor Park, en el área de
So all of these murals are primarily student-led. We have a lead teaching artist to guide students through the process, but it's the students who like drive the theme and develop the final composition.
So, los alumnos son los que guían el proyecto. Ellos están a cargo, tienen apoyo, pero la visión es de los alumnos y ellos hacen su visión realidad.
So our program is designed to support young and emerging artists. As I mentioned, students lead the design, develop the theme, the visuals, and the composition. Our lead teaching artist is really just the facilitator.
So, básicamente es que los alumnos, por ejemplo, ellos son los que realmente hacen el proyecto desde el comienzo hasta el final. El apoyo viene de la organización, pero la visión de ellos, es el diseño, todo es a base del artista.
So we had a total of 5 student teen artists participate. They all dedicated a total of 29 hours of their summer to work on this project.
Entonces, los alumnos participaron y dedicaron 29 horas a este proyecto.
And we pay them by the hour. The rate is $15.50.
Estaban 15.50 la hora.
And so for this project, each student received anywhere up to $600 at the end.
So, al terminar el proyecto recibieron como unos $600.
So not only are they learning from professionals and working with professionals, they are learning new skills, but they are also compensated for the work.
No solo tienen la oportunidad de aprender de un profesional, pero aparte se les paga por el trabajo que han contribuido.
And so in that way, they understand the value of their work and also leave a lasting piece for the community.
Ojalá que sí, la lección que uno quiere dar es que reconoce que su trabajo tiene valor y aparte del trabajo que tiene valor, han dejado algo para la comunidad.
So this is our lead teaching artist who guided our students over the summer. She's based in Richmond and is currently one of our teaching artists.
So, es uno de los artistas
Works with us.
que trabajan con mis
And she currently works at Montalban Energy.
Trabaja en
Yes. So given that Ali is one of our teaching artists and knows our model, and is really good at engaging students, we picked her to do this project.
ella se eligió porque tiene mucho conocimiento y pues es la persona indicada para este tipo de trabajo.
So this is the final piece that we've entitled Our Community, Our Story. It is done with different mediums. Mainly, we used acrylic paint and watercolor.
Los alumnos de este instituto usaron diferentes medios de arte, o sea, usaron pintura acrílica, usaron pinturas de agua, pero este es el
Yes. So as you can see, the mural depicts the many diverse community members here who engage with the library and also celebrates the role that education and imagination plays in shaping their lives.
este mural y pueden ver que hay una diversidad de personas involucradas con la biblioteca y los diferentes elementos que son importantes, elementos culturales también. Eso es todo lo que va a ser parte del producto del mural aquí en la biblioteca.
And so for this project, students took time in the beginning to interview people, members of the community, speaking with families who were playing in the park at the time, talking with the library workers, and also the designers of the new renovation for the library.
Lo que se tomó en cuenta cuando se estaba diseñando este proyecto era hablando con la comunidad, hablando con las personas que trabajan en la biblioteca, tomando en cuenta las diferentes perspectivas para que el producto reflejara diferentes perspectivas.
So part of like what we like to instill in the students is being able to engage directly with the community members, so that way the final art piece reflects them as well.
Parte de la enseñanza de los alumnos es que también ellos tengan la confianza de comunicarse.
So to kind of bring it back to our program, each student was responsible for drawing each piece of the mural, and they all worked together to decide the final piece. And in that way, they're also, learning those 3 C's: creativity, compassion, and confidence, taking risks with their art, but also being able to listen to each other and finally decide on the final piece.
Para que la mural se llevara a cabo, cada alumno tenía una sección. Esa sección, una persona la representaba. Parte de ese trabajo incluye los pilares que comentaron, que la colaboración, el trabajo en equipo, y todo eso también se reflexiona en el tipo de trabajo que es una mural, parte por parte de todos.
So this program is designed to offer students an early on-ramp into the creative sector, giving youth firsthand experience with working with professionals in the arts as like a profession. I think a lot of us have the idea that arts is a hobby.
So este tipo de trabajo también puede influir en el hecho de que los alumnos piensen que el arte puede ser un trabajo. O hablar de ver que los intereses de ellos pueden ser un trabajo para ellos que en su vida.
And as part of our work at Youth and Arts, we are all about creating more arts related opportunities for youth, especially after school. I know we're dedicated to addressing inequities when it comes to accessing the arts.
So parte de lo que, sorry, say the first one.
Yeah, we are dedicated to creating more arts related opportunities.
So quiere crear más oportunidades para los alumnos en arte. No nomás
So in trying to make that more accessible to students, this program is free. Students just have to apply and be selected through our application process. Therefore getting rid of any financial barriers that usually comes with like an after-school art exhibition.
So, la equidad es un tema que también surge con el arte, que todos tengan el mismo acceso a este.
They go through a selection process.
Y se seleccionan, hay un proceso para seleccionar los alumnos, entonces ya luego son parte de
And that's just to like emphasize, like we actually pay them. And in that way, we're like communicating that their voices matter and that we are invested in their growth.
So, porque yo creo que recalcando el tema de que quiere que se vean de una manera como profesional y que es un proceso, se seleccionan, se les paga, o sea que es algo que la educación le da validez, que ojalá los tomen en cuenta que es algo que
I just wanted to say thank you for everyone who made this possible for us. Yeah, we had 5 teen artists, 4 of them which were returning students, so they clearly like the program.
So, dice ella que agradece el apoyo que le han dado al programa de Youth and Arts. Dice que han tenido, would say 5 people in full return.
Yes.
5 alumnos que participaron y 4 de los alumnos fueron alumnos que regresaron. O sea, que indica que les gustó.
And then just a little bit of background. So the city of San Rafael selected Youth and Arts to design a mural, which will be printed on vinyl and installed in the new children's room once the renovation is completed. So part of the process is for this committee to review the proposed mural. Parte del proceso, un poquito de historia, es la ciudad de San Rafael seleccionó a la organización de Youth and Arts para que desarrollara un mural con la ayuda de los jóvenes aquí del área del canal, para que ese mismo mural se instalara en el nuevo cuarto de juvenil, ya que se renueve la biblioteca. So, parte de estar aquí hoy es para que se repase el mural que proponen ellos, para que lo vean.
Y se va a imprimir en vinil.
Se va a imprimir en una hoja de vinil para instalarse ahí.
Yes.
So it says here that there were teens from the Canal neighborhood. What school do they go to?
I want to say all 4 of them. 4 of them are from San Rafael High. And I think those 4 from San Rafael High actually participated in the design and or installation of the murals that's here at Bahia Vista in Benicia Valley in Illinois.
And how many applicants did you have?
For this particular project, I think I got 7 or 8. It was a bit on the lower side, but we had a quick turnaround. Yeah, we had up to 6, and then 1 student couldn't do it because she had some. Okay.
Was it open to all students or just students in art classes?
It's open to all students. So we have an application that we have on our website, and that gets disseminated through our socials, and then whoever is able to apply receives it, and they'll just fill out the form. Yes.
I had a quick question. Let's say, for example, you had about 7 or 8 participants.
Yes.
Would you normally only select the ones that you had before, or you would rotate them and have new?
We don't list we're open to everybody. So part of the application is like, there's a couple questions. I think it's like, 2 or 3 like written out questions, and then uploading like a sample of like your artwork, just to kind of see where, like what your abilities are or your strengths. And then with me and then the actual artist, we review like the applications and try to create like a nice cohort. Like I know for like the other murals, there's a lot more applicants considering the school year, but we like to pick people who have strengths with drawing, painting, or also just, want to be able to have that opportunity who don't. So we take into consideration a lot of the, like, the artistic ability, and also just like, have you had any other, do you have other, opportunities or programs that you already have access to, basically?
I'll just add one quick
Yes.
sentence to the end of it. We do make it every effort. It doesn't always end up being 100%
Yes.
based upon applicants, but we really do make an effort to select students that are from the community where the mural is going to be placed, so that they feel a connection to the place as well as the mural moving forward.
Who's gonna do the vinyl?
We photographed that with Black Cat Studios, and then the printing, as I recall, will be done by the city, actually.
The student is from Latinos family?
I'll at least 3 of them.
Okay.
I know one of them is not, and then the other one I didn't ask.
Oh, thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you
Yeah,
for
yeah.
them. Thank you.
Other comments from the committee? Do we have any public comment at this time? Yeah, we showed the,
For now, what age, how old are children have to be and participate?
For this program, we like to like stick to teenagers just because of like, yeah.
Ese tipo de proyectos de
How old?
So like
60? Oh, no, less.
For this one was
14 and up.
14.
14 and up.
Yeah.
Okay. 14 años en adelante.
High school age. Yeah. For this.
We don't have, at the moment, we don't have a plan for when we're gonna change it up.
¿Comentario más?
No tengan pena, pregunten. Tenemos quien nos busca.
okay. See, oh, sorry.
Just gonna make one other kind of staff comment about the process. So the reason this is here in front of the Pickleweed Advisory Committee is because we have the opportunity to either recommend that this now goes to the Public Art Review Board, or give any comments or feedback before it goes to the Public Art Review Board. The Public Art Review Board would then be reviewing this at their October 15th meeting. At that point in time, they would either approve it to go to City Council for final approval, because this is a long-term installation, longer than 1 year. Ultimately, City Council will have the final authority to say whether or not it's approved. So that's what this group is voting on, is whether or not to recommend this goes forward to the Public Art Review Board for the next step in that review process. This particular piece.
We'll get the art put back up before we make the vote real fast. I know I heard a couple of you ask. Any other comments from the committee?
Quiero volver a explicar un poquito lo que están comentando ahorita. Creo que está explicando un poco del proceso, ¿verdad? La razón por la cual se está presentando este mural aquí a la vez. Es para que puedan votar sobre the voting on this being.
Whether to send this to the Public Art Review Board for the next step.
Otros que vienen en aprobar el proyecto. Por eso se está presentando. Es un espacio de aprobación.
I'm getting one other comment right now. And you can help me here. I again just want to apologize for the lack of translation, but yeah, you're doing a great job to keep yourself in that. on help explain how people could use real-time translation. So I just wanted.
Por parte de esta reunión, se iba a presentar una aplicación Wordly para traducir. So, pedimos disculpas en que no esté lista en este momento, pero estamos tratando de que se Walter va a explicar un poquito sobre la aplicación. Lo que esta aplicación hace es traducir el argumento. Vamos a ver si Walter puede explicar un poco más.
Tenían unos audífonos.
Creo que, buenas, ¿me pueden ver? ¿Me escuchan?
Sí.
Perfecto. Hola, buenas tardes a todos. Sí, solo les queremos, si quieren escuchar no escuchar, si quieren leer lo que es la conversación en inglés, la ciudad ahora está usando un nuevo sistema de que le da opción de que mientras ustedes estén en la junta, yo les voy a enseñar un código QR que usan su teléfono y lo van a escanear. Y cuando lo escanean, básicamente van a seleccionar el idioma que quieren escuchar la reunión. La primera opción, la única opción que va a estar ahí, de momento va a ser español latinoamericano. Y cuando ustedes entren a la sesión, van a poder ver todo lo que se está diciendo en inglés, en español, como una versión chat. Ok, entonces voy a poner esto acá en la pantalla ahorita y yo voy a tener que sacar a la persona que está compartiendo ahorita la pantalla. Ok, perfecto. Denme un segundo. Ok, si miran ustedes aquí en la pantalla ahora está este código QR. Pueden ver un código, ¿verdad? Sí. Ok, si escanean este código que está aquí, les va a llevar, les va a llevar a una pantalla que está como esta que está aquí en el paso número 2. Van a escoger el idioma en español y van a poner atender. Y de ahí van a poder ver ustedes las conversaciones que están haciendo en inglés, en español, por escrito. Si tienen alguna pregunta, me pueden preguntar desde aquí, yo los puedo escuchar. Y eventualmente, lo siento, si cuando no hemos sacado este sistema por toda la ciudad, pero eventualmente si ustedes vienen a
Good
una junta
question.
en la ciudad.
Craig, is this going to be posted on our website? Something that folks can look to later and download?
We can post I'm not entirely sure. I mean, we do have the possibility of downloading some of the script, but the session won't be saved like that. So I would say for now, no. TBD in the future.
Walter, did you, just so everyone's aware, so I know that was all in Spanish for anyone that's primarily an English speaker here. So this is a new tool the city is piloting. It's called Wordly. It offers real-time translation. So you can use the QR code to scan that. It will bring up an app that should pull up a transcript on your phone that should automatically translate from your chosen language, either English to Spanish or Spanish to English. And hopefully that will be a useful and helpful tool. Walter, did you talk about whether if someone doesn't have a headset? Okay.
Yeah, so let me show. Les voy a enseñar. Lo siento que no estoy ahí, pero la próxima vez que tenga una junta voy a estar acá. Pero si ustedes, por ejemplo, si cargan audífonos, si están usando la aplicación ahorita, pueden, no sé si déjenme, voy a enseñar mi pantalla otra vez para que puedan ver lo que estoy viendo ahora, porque el sistema se parece como este que está acá. Y miran que aquí se está traduciendo todo en español, todo lo que estaba diciendo Craig en español. Si miran en su teléfono, hay un icono como de no sé, no audífono, pero un icono de audio aquí arriba. Yo lo tengo marcado, no está puesto. Pero si ustedes tienen audífonos y se apachan este botón, van a poder escuchar todo esto, así como que estuviera un traductor en vivo ahí.
Okay. Walter, and I think I was just going to say one last thing before we move on. I know we still need a motion on this item, so thanks to everyone for your patience as we pause to try to get this started. But I just wanted to mention if at any point we have difficulty with this system, if you're unable to understand what's being said, we can pause and we can try to make sure that we translate so everyone fully understands. Walter, anything else on your end, or do you feel like?
Yes, última cosita, lo siento, última cosa que voy a mencionar del sistema es que si van aquí en las opciones de arriba, miran que hay como 3 líneas acá. Por favor, vayan acá y vayan a la herramienta si en su sistema no está chequeado esta cajita, por favor chequenla porque va a hacer que tal vez la traducción no va a ser tan rápida como queramos, pero si esta cajita está chequeada, la traducción va a ser mucho mejor. Porque si no está chequeada, por ejemplo, solo va a traducir lo que yo estoy diciendo en unas 3 palabras y no tiene el contexto de lo que viene de la conversación. O sea que si espera, traduce mejor traduce lo que se está diciendo pues en el contexto de la conversación, no solo en la frase. Pero eso es la única cosa. Si tienen algún problema con el sistema, como dijo Greg, pueden decirnos. Y yo voy a estar aquí viendo que todo esté funcionando bien. Thanks, Greg.
Thank you, Walter. I'm going to turn it back over to you, Christy, to call for a motion on this.
Great. Well, do we have further comment before
I
we?
did have one
Yeah.
quick question. Looking at the piece, the only thing I'm curious about is like the airplane. Tell me a little bit about.
I trying to recall what because Allie's the art, so Allie works mainly with the students. I can't recall. I'm pretty sure she made a comment on it in the report. I think so. I'm trying to remember, but it says. Yeah.
The plane itself, it looks good drone.
Yeah.
And a military drone, and that just feels like it might have a negative.
I see.
It doesn't have a tail. It doesn't feel very plane-like.
Yeah.
So that would be my only design feedback.
Yeah. And thank you. Yeah. Yes.
The sidewalk's very confusing. We used to go with the DNA helix. Go down the bottom. Who's a sidewalk? That's very confusing.
This is a book. This is a book on the floor.
It is a book.
Yeah, it is a
It's a
book.
book, but on top of the book,
She's
they
talking
have a
about-
helix.
It
Yeah.
reminded me of, I think there's a strand like that in the mural that's on the outside of the pickleweed. There is
Yes,
a
there
DNA strand there, so I was wondering if the artists were invoking that in this mural, because that's a new future piece here at the community center.
It's also, the DNA is also part of the Vija Vista mural as well.
But there's a lot more DNA than just that in the canal areas. There's a lot of different species, races here.
Yes.
It's hard to tell the difference.
So would the committee like to provide feedback, or would they like to make a motion to approve this to be reviewed at the next step?
Motion.
And we can provide feedback that the committee, then the next committee considers, right?
Yeah, you can. So process-wise, the city's public art review board is still relatively new. The feedback that I think we're most interested in is whether this would be, either offensive to the city or something that would be really problematic to install. The public art review board isn't tasked to really review the content of the artwork. They're really more looking at the logistics of whether this is feasible, whether this is something that fits in with the city's guidelines that define public art. But we really typically don't give a lot of feedback to the artists because we want to maintain that artistic freedom and the creative freedom about what they're trying to do with their artwork. So really, the only reason that we would likely reject something is if there truly was something that was offensive, obscene, political in nature, it was construed as advertising, or if it just wasn't logistically feasible. So it's kind of to give that perspective. Logistically feasible to install. And we already on a staff level have already reviewed this project. believe that it is feasible. It does align with our guidelines. It does fit well, and we are recommending that it moves forward at a staff level.
Do we have a motion to approve from the committee member?
I move to approve the artwork to the public review board, art review board.
Do I have a second?
I second.
Okay, Becky, did you get that?
So, the
Kate
motion was
Sprague, motion.
second.
Yeah, Kate, and then to Rosa as a second.
All right. Okay, I'll take roll call. Member Arbit,
Said no. Sorry, I was kind of hard to hear from that corner of the speakers.
that's hard to hear. Okay, so member Arbit, no. Member Campos,
Yes.
member Nguyen,
Yes.
member Ruiz,
Yes.
member Sprague.
Yes.
All right, and member Sanchez is absent. So it looks like motion approved on this one. Thank you.
Thank you.
Member Vasquez?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, member Vasquez, yes, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. All right, motion approved.
Thank you, everyone. Yeah,
Thank you.
If you were here for this item, you're welcome to stay for the next one, but you're also welcome to go. So. Thank you all.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, we're gonna move to the second agenda item, which is the Pickleweed Preschool Renovation Project. And I believe we have a presentation for this as well.
You to let the room calm down for just a second. Thank you again. I am going to share my screen here in just a moment. Okay, everyone, thanks again. Again, my name is Craig Barame. I'm one of the city's assistant library and recreation directors. I help support our recreation and childcare programs. I'm joined here today by Gabby Frias, who's our senior recreation supervisor for our childcare programs. Gabby oversees Pickleweed Preschool as well as Parkside Preschool. We have 5 other after-school school-age childcare centers. Our kids summer camp program. Thanks for being here, Gabby. And we have our Pickleweed Preschool Center Supervisor here, Karina Vasquez. Thank you. I think a lot of you may know Karina. Karina is at the Pickleweed Preschool on a day-to-day basis and helps support the programs, the facilities, and all of the kids there. And I know I've seen many of you as parents at Pickleweed Preschool. I know many of you are very familiar with that facility. Also joining us this evening is Ivan Fernando. Ivan is a consultant for the city that is helping with the design of the new Pickleweed Preschool facility. So thank you for joining us. I'm going to share a couple of slides of information that talk about this project. We are planning to renovate Pickleweed Preschool, and we wanted to share our plans with you so that we could hear your thoughts on the new design, and we could share with you the timeline for when this work would be completed. So that's why we're here this evening. Thank you for joining us. Pickleweed Preschool is located on the other end of the community center. It's here in Pickleweed Park. It serves around 68 children each day with 2 a.m. and 2 p.m. classrooms. Around 17 students per classroom in the a.m. and 17 in the morning, or in the p.m. as well. It is a state licensed program, receives funding from California Department of Education. Most of the funding for this program does come from the state of California. We also received a community development block grant, as well as some Marin Child Care Council funds that help support. It's called a safety net grant. Historically, we have received other funding that has supported Pickleweed Preschool, and the city has offered direct funds to support Pickleweed Preschool on occasion, but in recent years, this program is 100% free and subsidized based on primarily state of California funding. Families are eligible based on financial need. Right now, the facility has 2 classrooms, has office space, a multi-purpose room with a kitchen, restrooms, an outdoor play area. And if you're familiar with the facility, you may recall that a little over a year ago, one of the buildings needed to be demolished because of water damage. It had gotten to a point where it was beyond repair, and we had to remove that facility. We replaced it with a smaller temporary portable unit at this point in time. So that is Karina's office right now, that used to be more of a multi-purpose room, stored a lot of the play equipment, and we've lost that building. An aerial view of the park, kind of looking over the new field at the at the preschool location, right between the new basketball court and the community center. So this project, we've known now for several years that the preschool buildings are approaching the end of their useful life. And we've been working for several years to find funding to support renovation of the preschool. We applied for multiple state grants, applied for other funding opportunities as they arise. With the loss of the administrative building, we knew we had to take action to, at a minimum, replace the offices and multi-purpose room. So we hired a consultant team, Ivan and his team, to do a facility assessment and take a look at the other existing buildings to determine whether they had a few more years of useful life, or whether we should take a more comprehensive approach and potentially replace all of those facilities. That facility assessment did let us know that the other classrooms were likely also at the end of their useful life. We were needs to replace them in the near future if we didn't do so now. So we worked with our Public Works Department to find funding for this project. We've established a budget of $1.3 million that is available to support the renovation of this facility. That's using city funds. That's our building maintenance fund. And we're working with Ivan and the team to design some new enhancements for the facility. So I'll pull up some images in a moment, but right now we are working on designing 2 new portable classroom buildings. In each of those classrooms, we would be adding new additional restrooms designed for toddlers that are located within the classroom. Improvements to the outdoor play and learning areas, new playgrounds, new sandbox, new landscaping, paving, and garden beds, as well as improved pathways throughout the facility. We would be doing some parking area improvements. We would not add or take away from any of the parking stalls right now, but we would improve the accessibility to the preschool facility. We'd also be looking at improved site security and fencing, some new shade structures, and bringing back that administrative room and office space so that we would have a true multi-purpose room that would accommodate parent meetings, an office for the center supervisor and for the staff. So along with that, we're also looking at some utility and infrastructure upgrades, things like improved internet connectivity, water, sewer, the things that would be required per code if we come in and install. So this is an image, an aerial view of the preschool facility. If you're familiar with the current site, these buildings would be placed in the same location that the current classrooms are. If you imagine that you're standing in the parking lot On the lower left of this image, you can see the main entrance and some parking lines, the striping. The building in the lower right hand corner, the bottom of this image would be the new administrative building and multi-purpose room. The building to the left of that would be one of the classrooms. The restrooms in between the two classrooms would remain. We've assessed that those are still in pretty good condition. Those would stay. There would be a new classroom at the back of the facility closest to the new field. And then we're proposing upgrades to the outdoor play area, including all new landscaping, all new AC, concrete, and I think it's AC paving that would go in the play area, asphalt, as well as a new playground, new sandbox, and some raised garden beds. This is another view of that. Just an overhead view that shows the classrooms themselves. I will zoom in a little bit. The classrooms in this plan show pretty open space. We haven't included furniture, storage, things in this plan. That would be part of what we're planning to install. Each classroom would have a new restroom area, as I mentioned, that would have a toilet as well as 2 hand washing sinks that are sized for toddlers. We'd also be including a hand washing sink and countertop space for adults, that is sized for adults. There would also be, that's a great point, Gabby, where we'd be including a diaper changing station as part of that addition. Another view of the building, this would be a view looking from the parking lot toward the preschool facility. We're still working through the design of the main entrance and what that should look like. We've had a lot of conversation about trying to make sure that the preschool is welcoming, that we clearly identify that it is a preschool, but also making sure that there's adequate site security to make sure we're taking care of our children that are at the preschool. So we're looking at making some improvements, and I think that's an area we're still fine tuning right now. But we do know that we want to have a gate there at the front entrance for security. So this image might not be the final image of exactly what is installed, because that's something we're still working on. This is another view of the classrooms. So this shows more of a 3-dimensional view of one of the classrooms. Gabby or Ivan, either of you, do you recall, does this increase or change square footage from our current facilities?
The footprint of the building is exactly the same.
I thought, I just wanted to make sure that I was saying that correctly, that this would not increase the size of the classrooms. They would be the same size, but they would be with modern finishes and modern furnishings. And we did discuss whether we should increase the size of the buildings. Since this is a state licensed program, we do have requirements for how much square footage we should have within the buildings, as well as how much outdoor space we should have. So we're trying to design a facility that best utilizes the indoor and the outdoor space to meet current need. This design would not increase capacity at the preschool. We would expect to be able to serve the same number of students in the classrooms that we're currently serving. Another view of one of the buildings, this would be the multi-purpose room. This would include an open kind of a multi-purpose classroom space, as well as this is titled break room, but it would include kitchen equipment and countertop space. It would include an oven, a microwave, a sink, a refrigerator. And would be, I know our staff would be using that to help support food prep and making sure that our kids had healthy, nutritious meals at the center. This would also include an office, and there's an area titled lobby that would be used for parent meetings, potentially for additional office space, be another flexible use room. So our timeline for this project, as I mentioned, we started design in fall of 2024. We've been continuing design through this summer. We're wrapping that design up. We're at a point now where we have good conceptual drawings. We're fine tuning our civil engineering plan, the foundation and footings. Ivan's working with our city engineers and other consultants to wrap up the design. And we hope to complete that this fall. We'd love feedback from this group on things we can do to refine the plan and make sure that we're designing a facility that's going to best meet community needs. So we're bringing this proposal here tonight. We'll also be sharing this proposal with our Park and Recreation Commission on Thursday, October 16th. Hopefully after those rounds of meetings, we'll be able to wrap up the design this winter with a goal of inviting construction bids. Hopefully we can enter into a contract with a construction firm this spring to fabricate the buildings so they could be brought on site by summer 2025. We would hope to start construction in summer so that we don't impact the school year. We want to try to build this during the summer when school is not in session.
26. Yeah, my 2025 is gone.
26. My apologies. That is a typo, not summer 2025, summer 2026. Everyone kind of looked at me, summer 2026. So with that, this presentation has been really focused on, the building. And actually, I realized I saved this as a PDF before I changed it. I had a separate slide in here, which maybe I'll pull up, that had photos of our kids at the Pickleweed graduation last year. And really, when I think about these projects, these are really important. Pickleweed Preschool is an incredibly important part of our childcare program that we know really helps support early childhood education and learning. Helps support a lot of goals that align with our library and recreation department goals and objectives to make sure that our kids have the best education possible. And so this is all about helping serve kids in our community. And with that, I would turn it over to the committee for any questions about our proposal.
So you're gonna say you have temporary buildings there, and you're gonna put in temporary buildings. Now, how many years of use did you get out of temporary buildings?
Yeah, that's a great question. And to answer your question, we expect a likelihood of, it's going to vary depending on maintenance, but our hope is that we're able to maintain these buildings really well. The current portable buildings have been in place for in excess of 30 years. They do have a pretty durable lifespan, and with the way that we're designing this new facility, we're going to be making a lot of improvements to the foundation footing, doing a lot of work to make sure they're very well weatherproof. Some of the issues that we ran into with our existing buildings is that, underneath the foundation footing started to get some of that dry rot, and it's they're on wooden piers right now. This design would place them on concrete foundations and footings. And so I expect they're going to have a longer lifespan than our prior buildings. That being said, they are portable buildings. There's a lot of different types of facilities that we evaluated installing. There's portables, and then there's kind of the next step up from that, which I would call it a modular building. And then we considered permanent structures, actually building a stick-built facility That was gonna be unfortunately cost prohibitive. And when we looked at the budget that we had, we felt this was the best way for us to revitalize this facility within the available budget. Like I mentioned before, we've been out searching for grant opportunities. We've applied many times and unfortunately those have been rejected. We just haven't been eligible for those. So we think this is the best possible solution to really be cost effective, but also bring great facilities to the
I have another question. I understand what you're saying about this. But you're saying that they're gonna put in youth recreation in this garden, in the playground. They just spent millions of dollars on this playground here. Why are they not combining use?
Yeah, and that's another good question. And, if you take a look around at preschool facilities throughout the county, the state, there's a lot of reasons that we really do provide specific facilities for that age range. And one reason is because there's different equipment that really is needed for the young ones. And so this playground would be specifically designed for preschool age children. We do have another playground that we did just install that's open for the community. But having a playground that's really dedicated during the school year, that's within this contained area that our staff can supervise and safety monitor, really helps make sure that we're taking care of the kids while they're in that outdoor space. That's a part of the learning experience for them. So the playground, the sandbox, all of those other amenities in that outdoor area are part of our requirement as a state licensed program to have those types of amenities and also create that perimeter space. So there's a couple of reasons that we're deciding that that would be really helpful. We also just know that it's an important part of learning as a child to have access to those types of amenities. If you look at across town, our Parkside preschool facility, we also have an enclosed area with a dedicated playground for the kids that attend that program. Right next door, there's a public park within our playground that's available for the community. So it also helps us really match what we have across the city and other facilities. Karina, would you like to answer that?
3 and 4 years old. For 3 and 4 years old.
Is 17 your state limit for a classroom?
Yes, it's 17 in the morning, the 17 in the afternoon.
But 17 is the maximum you can have in a single
Yes.
class based on.
Yeah.
So you can go to play.
Yeah, staff the ratios.
Yeah. Okay, you do, okay.
Can I elaborate on that just a little bit, because I think that's an important question.
Sure.
There's a lot of parameters we look at when we try to determine what our max capacity is for the facility. So staffing is one, the facility size is another, the ratios that we want to have with age ranges.
That are
So,
required to have.
and then what we do is we actually enter into a contract agreement with the state based on the number of students that we expect to serve, and that's how they allocate funding. And so there's always an opportunity in the future to revisit that based on, the facility size, staffing levels, but we contract based on that 68 now, and that's the level of funding that we receive. So for us to increase, we would have to enter into a new contract agreement, which the state has not allowed us to do that since COVID. We are requesting continuing funding given our current contracted numbers. So right now, we would not be in a position to increase the number of students enrolled.
I have one more question about that. Are you being impacted by public school TK in terms of enrollment, or are you serving more 3-year-olds because of that? Because the 4-year-olds can go to TK, all of them can now? Absolutely, it is. Yeah. So are you able to shift to serve more 3-year-olds because TK is available?
Which is part of the reason why we included the change in figures.
Yeah.
They're still.
When the building going to model or start the building?
Can you repeat the question?
When going to start the
When are they gonna start the construction?
Project.
construction of the project?
So if all goes well, we would start the project in summer of 2026. So you wouldn't see any work happening at the site until this school year ended. And then immediately we would try to go in and start construction.
Okay, but they are still right now in this, okay, thank you.
Facilities used during the summer?
We do close this program down during the summer months. Historically, that's been the case. I think that, I'd be open to exploring possibilities where maybe we could have some summer activities happening at the preschool. I talked with Karina about that. I think that what we need to look at is just making sure we're in compliance with our state licensure, that it's not going to have any other negative impact on the preschool program. I don't think that would be an issue, but it's just not a program that we've offered. I think one of the other reasons we don't offer a program in the summer is our staff work really hard. They also need a break during the summer. And so we want to make sure that our team isn't working year round. A lot of them do continue to work for us in the summer at our other summer kids camp programs, but that is something I think we're going to continue to explore moving forward. If we've got a brand new facility, maybe that even makes more opportunities possible.
Any other comment from committee members? Any public comment?
I have a question. Is there AC?
Yeah, there will be, as part of this construction, there will be, I believe there will be, we're required, I think, to have that.
I think the portables will come with it, which is one of the benefits to putting portables up at a school campus, because they have AC built in to them rather.
I keep looking back at item to make sure, I'm really sure we do, but yeah, thank you. I hear your comment. Yeah, I think actually to that point, once the facility has been hopefully constructed, I think there are opportunities for art, for those finishing touches. We know that the community has been so supportive and helpful to make the current preschool as fun and as beautiful as it is. I know that the community has come together to help install the gardens. The Rotary Club has been so supportive. A lot of love and attention has been put into the preschool, and I hope that once the new buildings are there, the community would help support us in that as well. And so I think there's opportunities for art, there's opportunities for other creative ways to make sure that it's a really special place.
I want to follow up on the comment about whether it should be open in the summer. Because it seems to me that there are a lot of parents who would benefit from having this open in the summer as much as anything, because they need the time to do other things. I even need something that could be, in the summer.
Yeah, I think that's something we'll continue to explore.
Looks like we have some public comment as well.
Yo tengo una duda si la instalación incluye como una red de instalación de cámaras de vigilancia para exteriores, seguridad, para algunas situaciones que se dan afuera, específicamente con algunos que se ponen como a tomar bases, vídeos.
Karina, I did not turn my work app on, so I apologize. Thank you, Gabby. Yeah.
So she was asking if there was going to be in the design of the community cameras, security cameras outside. Because right now, as it stands, there's a lot of activities sometimes outside of the preschool, and they'll find alcohol containers, glass.
Yeah, it's a great question. We actually just did, the Pickleweed Advisory Committee members, we took them on a tour of all the improvements of the park before this meeting. And that question came up then as well. And, right now with this plan, we do not have any security cameras included. But I know there's been a lot of changes to the park. There's a new basketball court right next door, the new field, and that is bringing a lot more activity to the preschool area. On one hand, I hope that will continue to stay positive. We want people to enjoy the park. We want people of all ages to enjoy the park, but we also want to make sure that we're protecting the preschool. So I know I'm going to be working with Karina and Gabby to help make sure that there's clear signage up that identifies that this is a preschool with little ones. And we want to make sure that people are respectful of that so that they're not using inappropriate language or behaving inappropriately or, drinking. And I think we're going to need to continue to work on that. But to answer your question right now, no, we don't have any cameras proposed. That is something I think that we could always consider in the future. So it is a possibility.
Maybe, I'm sorry. No, go ahead. Based on our conversation earlier as a group outside too, maybe we could, in other points on this committee, we've had, I think a member of the like a sanitation kind of with the city, but it wasn't. It was someone who was doing eco-friendly projects, which were some of the garbage cans, and then also the traffic manager. Maybe we could have someone from community policing come and talk with us on the committee about some ways that we might be able to brainstorm together or talk together about some of our concerns and the ways that they might be able to support, especially in the places where our kids are in the community.
I think that's a great idea.
Do we have other public comment?
¿Cuánto está bien durar el proyecto?
How long will the project last?
How long will it last?
Yeah, the construction.
I think, Ivan, what do you think the estimate is on that for the buildings?
Part of the finding construction.
How long do you think once everything is completed and installed, what's the expected lifespan of the facilities?
Usually it's about
About 30
30 years.
years. Yeah, and we will see. I think, if we take good care of them, maybe longer, maybe less. I know that as the city, we want to support the preschool and we know how important it is. And so I think I'm always interested in looking at more permanent solutions. If we did find additional funding to support this project, that would allow us to build more permanent facilities, the city would be interested in that. Right now, we just don't have budget available for it.
I think that affordable might be good just for that reason. Because if you want to change plans to something different, you're not destroying an expensive permanent structure.
Yeah, there are some benefits.
That makes the answer of 3 to 4 months makes me have another question though, actually, because a summer break for a school is not usually 3 months. So is there a plan for where the preschool can go if it's not finished in 8 weeks, which is usually about how long summer is?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so we have started to talk about that. I think I'm still crossing my fingers that if we do a good job of planning on the front end, we may be able to stage the buildings, do the work on the front end, and as soon as school is over, get in and try to get it done quickly. We won't know until we go out to bid and get the construction through. We will be telling them very clearly that our need is to wrap up the project during the summer before school begins. But Gabby and I have talked about other plans, and we'll be talking with Christy as well, probably about potential uses of the community center here if needed.
Here.
But we're gonna do our best to not impact the program during these.
Are there other public comments or questions from the committee or comments from the committee?
What did it be? Especially once
Yeah, those are hard decisions for us because we love trees. I am a Parks and Recreation guy and I love trees, but anytime we have to take one down, it's a hard decision. But sometimes to accommodate projects like this, we do need to take out trees occasionally. So we have identified a few that will. But I hope that maybe we can replant some new trees and make sure that we're incorporating that into the project moving forward. We know how important that is.
Other questions or public comment?
How does the plan look? What do we think? Is it good? Is it bad?
Sí,
Is it good?
se ve bonito.
Okay.
Yeah.
Seems like you're getting a lot for budget.
Okay. Well, I think with that, I think we're not asking for a vote here. I think this was informative and an opportunity to comment. So if you'd like to make a motion to receive the report, I think that's all we're asking for here.
Do we have a motion to acknowledge received? Okay. We have a motion from Darlin, and do we have a second?
I'll second.
Thank
Right.
you. Thank you. Second from Kate. Becky, did you get that?
Thank you. All right, member Arbit.
Yep.
I'm sorry, I can't hear that side of the table.
Said yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Member Campos?
Yes.
Okay. Member Nguyen?
Yes.
Okay, member Ruiz?
Yes.
Member Sprague?
Yes.
And member Vasquez?
Yeah.
All right, great, thank you. Motion approved.
Great. Thank you, everyone.
At preschool right now, I don't believe that we do. I think that predominantly we are seeing that most of the participants are either coming from Spanish speaking household or English speaking household, but primarily Spanish. I think if that was ever released, we'd be open to it if we had an instructor that did speak. But right now, I think primarily Spanish.
I just wondered if it's even available to them.
Yeah, and not right now. I don't think we have anyone on our child care team right now that's speaks. If you know anyone that's looking for a job that wants to work with us, we are actively hiring right now for
I'm a
2 child
volunteer.
care supervisors.
I'm a
Volunteer, yeah. So
But we don't have a job.
we're hiring, so.
Thank you. Okay, thank you, everyone. We're gonna move forward with the agenda. Next is committee reports and comments. So if there are any brief reports on any meetings or community events attended by the committee members, now's the time for sharing. Do we have any reports from committee members? No? Okay, we open for public comment in this section as well.
Only if there was any reports, I think, but since there weren't any, we
Great.
need public comment.
Great. We'll move forward to staff comments, so updates on events of interest. So I want to remind everybody that we have Movies in the Park coming soon. So on October 10th, we'll have Movies in the Park. We'll be showing Mufasa in Spanish with English subtitles. That event will also be our ribbon cutting and grand opening of the field. We love to see the community there, as well as the committee members. It'll be a good time. We'll have community partners, some snacks, and showing of the movie. We also have Day of the Dead coming up on November 1st, Saturday, November 1st. So we encourage everyone to join us for that event as well, which will also have the procession in the canal as well, with the event ending at the community center. Applications for altars are still open, so we still have room for altars both downtown as well as at the center. So I encourage everyone to apply, spread the word. And we did receive funding for stipends this year for altar applicants. So please share that, and I hope to see you there. And staff updates, we are welcoming field monitor to our team soon, who will be helping monitor our new athletic fields and park spaces. That's what I have for staff comments. And Craig, anything you'd like to add?
I mean, a couple things I was going to mention too. I know that the Day of the Dead committee is still looking for volunteers. So if you're interested in helping to support that program, you can contact Christy. She can help get you in touch.
Yeah.
So I have lots of ways to help support that event. The other thing I was going to mention is, and thanks for mentioning the ribbon cutting. I know many of you helped give your feedback about the park project. So we're going to be celebrating that. We'd love to see you there. There are still a few pieces of the park that aren't quite done yet. So if you have any feedback about the park project, things that you think we should be considering to include, a sign, a bench, something else that'd be really helpful for the community, let us know, because we still have an opportunity to add those finishing touches. We've already talked about a lot of things that we think would be really helpful to help make sure that the signs are clear and they're visual signs instead of a whole bunch of words, and creating ways to make sure people know that the basketball courts are open, and they are. So if you want to go use them now, you're really welcome to. The other thing I was going to mention is the park restroom. That is still part of the project. That'll be coming a little later. That will be done in the spring. And then the top play area is still fenced off. We're wrapping up some concrete work there. Hopefully that will be done in the next few weeks.
Great. And then if you're interested in helping us make sugar skulls, we will be partnering with the Multicultural Center and Youth and Family Council on the second Saturday of October, so October 11th. At the community center in the morning, we'll be making sugar skulls. Great.
I'm also just curious, how is the Wordly app working?
Yes, perfect.
English comes through fine.
Great. Okay, and then our next regular meeting will be February 4th, 2026 in person at the Albert J. Board Community Center, so back here again. And if there's no more comments or questions, seeing none, I will adjourn the meeting. So adjourned at 8:34. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you.